Hi, I'm Kirsten. Welcome to another edition of the Fama video series. Josh, please introduce yourself.
Well, how's it going, everybody? My name is Josh Rock. I am the talent acquisition manager for Nuss Truck and Equipment. We are a Mack and Volvo heavy duty truck dealership group in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Missouri.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm just going to jump right in because I am very interested in getting your perspective.
Let's go.
We know digital natives are now the majority of the workforce. Soon they'll make up 75%. From a recruiting perspective, how, if at all, is that shifting the way you evaluate candidates? And are you seeing any new risks emerge now that more of our lives are playing out online?
See, here's the thing. In my space, in the, heavy duty truck industry, I actually have to balance people not being on the digital side of things. Diesel mechanics have a very small digital footprint. They're not on LinkedIn. They may not necessarily be on Indeed unless they're looking for a job. Most of these guys are working somewhere else. And so I got to find other ways to grab their attention. I can do things like geofencing and geo-targeting to try to put my ads wherever they may be interacting with the interwebs, but they don't have a ton of profiles in places. Oftentimes they're like truck drivers' wives, where it's their significant others that are looking for the jobs for them. And so I have to be a little different in my search space than a mass of the other industries out here.
That's an interesting perspective, and I love that. I think we take for granted that everyone is doing everything online. So that was one of the reasons I was very, very excited to talk to you today. Do you currently evaluate candidates for culture ads or culture risks or both? And if so, where do you think there are blind spots?
Yeah, I do look for how are they going to fit the culture of the organization positively and negatively. I also look at how are they going to interact with, how my leaders going to interact with these people. Where are they coming from? How are we going to adapt to the people that are coming into the organization versus how the candidate's going to fit us? Um, because I know that when I'm bringing somebody into my organization, oftentimes it's not just the individual, it's their whole family along with them. So I have to look at a variety of things along with it. So yeah, I do evaluate that on a number of facets. It's a holistic approach. It's making sure that we're bringing the whole person and the organization into this equation.
All right, awesome. We're going to skip over to red flags, what I like to call those culture risks. Those things that we often learn about when it's too late after someone's already hired. Have you experienced a situation that you're able and open to share where a hidden behavior became a problem shortly after post hire? And if so, what would you have wanted to know sooner?
Well, unfortunately, there are times where the workplace resembles, oh, I don't know, say a bad episode of Grey's Anatomy, uh, where people do things in the workplace that they really not supposed to. It doesn't come into the workplace, but we know about it after the fact, things that they do on their private time, but then impacts, the dynamics of the team, impacts the dynamics of the subordinate, leader dynamic, coworker dynamic, employee customer dynamic. And so I would love to, if I could read through tea leaves earlier on in the process, see some of those things, but unfortunately, I have to deal with it when they play out. And we do give people the benefit of the doubt. We go through an entire process to look through those things. If we can save the employee, if we can change the behavior, sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. But yeah, I wish I could see through those things and maybe not bring television into my workplace, but it is what it is.
Awesome. Now, if you had the ability or you were given the ability to see early signs of workplace misconduct that would not show up on a traditional background screening before someone accepts an offer of employment, what, if any, impact would that have on your talent strategy?
Actually, here at NUS, for certain positions, we actually use a corporate psychologist to actually have conversations with some of our staff before they're hired into the organization. That process has allowed me to see things that I didn't necessarily see through the evaluation process. Um, and it is a last element to whether or not we're going to extend an offer. But obviously, if we bring them to that place, we like them enough to get them to there. And so, meeting with our psychologist here, we're able to pick through some things and have some crucial conversations about where they may or may not fit, and things that we may or may not be willing to deal with. I know when I did mine, he told my leader that I was a bull in a china shop, which he's right. I am. I will charge forward on business success and not let hurdles get in my way. Um, it is for the benefit of, I always make sure it's the benefit of the organization and the people, but those hurdles don't stand a chance. I will look to accomplish everything that I can. And he was right. He told my boss that, and it's been that way since I got here, and we continue it. I try to, do things a little bit nicer, but he was right. And that same evaluation we use now with other roles inside this organization. Not all, but those crucial positions we do.
Wow, that's interesting data that you're collecting. Uh, are you using it to close a gap, maybe a skills gap, maybe a misconduct gap, or just a hiring gap, anything like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, we're looking at it to make sure that we're not making a bad decision, making sure that the people that we're bringing on are going to lead us where we want the business to achieve. So it is that skills gap. Where are we today? Where we want to take it tomorrow and 5 years from now? And so is that person that we're evaluating going to help us get there? And so everybody's human in the recruiting process, bias or not bias. And so having a third party that doesn't have a stake in the game, that can just look at the personality, look at the characteristics that they really bring to the table, can help us make a thoughtful and fruitful decision.
Wow, thank you so much, Josh. I always learn so much when I talk to you, and I love getting your perspectives. Thanks, everyone else. We will see you next time.
Thanks, guys.